Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Bold Metal Nerd coming at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about today's primary in Indiana. I live in Indiana, so I did vote today in the primary. Right now, it's about 9 p.m. Eastern um, on May 3rd, so the final results may definitely vary from Indiana based on what I'm saying in this video. It's not done yet. The counting isn't done. But so far, on the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders is leading Hillary Clinton by about 6 percentage points. So that's awesome. Is he going now? Is this going to allow him to get the nomination? Eh, you know, probably not. It'll keep him. It'll keep him in the game some. And I know his path to getting the Democratic nomination is very slim. Math does not favor him really that much at all. He's definitely a long shot at this point. I went out and I voted for him today, as did my wife, because honestly, I feel, regardless of your political leanings, personally for me, I feel he is the most genuine candidate out of all of them, and I just happen to agree with most of his policy positions. Um, now on the Republican side, it looks like Trump is ahead of Cruz. And I have to say, on the Democratic side, or I'm sorry, not the Democratic side, the Republican side, between Trump and Cruz, I would honestly rather see Trump get the nomination, even though I'm not a Trump supporter. Out of those two, I find Trump a little less terrifying, mostly because Cruz is such a zealot. And by that, I mean, I was watching an interview today where Ted Cruz was interviewing, and he said, well, you know what the difference between me and Donald Trump is? Is Donald Trump was asked a very simple question. Donald Trump was asked, when's the last time you asked God for forgiveness? And Donald Trump said, I don't ask God for forgiveness. But me, I've asked God for forgiveness 3 times just today. Yeah. So to me, I'm thinking to myself, wow, you asked God for forgiveness 3 times already today. That means one of two things. Either A, you're a super asshole who does really shitty stuff all the time that you think needs God's forgiveness constantly, or B, you are, what the hell? A true religious zealot who talks to God constantly, and any tiny little thing you might do. Oh, I farted sideways. God, please forgive me. One of the two, and either one, as far as character goes, I don't like either one of them. As far as just me personally, the number of times that I've asked God for forgiveness in my life, it's not a huge number of times. It's I generally only do that when I feel that I have done something that is fundamentally wrong on some level. Okay, if that's the case, then yeah, of course. I don't think that's unreasonable. And of course, now I'm not really exactly a believer in God or any of that, as I've mentioned in many of my other videos. But invoking that, I think kind of takes. Yeah, there's the standard. If you're a religious person and you pray off, even if you said, you know, if you want to play the religious card, which God, does Ted Cruz ever do that? Because, angels came down from heaven and appointed and said to Ted, you need to run for president. Well, Ted, you being so far behind maybe proves God doesn't exist, because if you're God's chosen guy, you're doing pretty shitty right now. And you're probably not going to get the nomination. Just saying. Just saying. It's not doing much for your argument. Of course, the religious people explain that away as, oh, the world is too wicked. Nah. Anyway, that's a whole other tangent I'm not even going to get on. But, yeah, as much as I am not a Trump supporter, I would, out of between him and Ted Cruz, I would prefer Trump over Cruz, but that's not exactly saying much. That's like saying I prefer, smelling piss to shit. I don't particularly like the smell of either one, but one is slightly less offensive than the other, right? Now, moving on to my general point. If Hillary Clinton gets the nomination, okay, the Democratic nomination, which is pretty likely at this point. I know that's the most likely scenario by far. If that does occur, I am not going to vote for Hillary. Come November, I will not vote for Hillary Clinton. She is. There's a million reasons to not vote for Hillary Clinton. I'm not gonna cover them in this video. It's a long list. So a lot of people say, and I think the reason we kind of have the type of politicians that we do is we have basically people only when they pay nobody vote. There are third parties, guys, right? And everyone's in the mindset of, oh well, I have to vote for one of the two main parties because if I vote for the third party, that person won't win. Well, let me tell you something, America. If every single person who is fed up with the Republicans and the Democrats voted for a third party, guess what? Shocker of shockers, the third party would win. Yes, I know the Republicans and the Democrats absolutely dominate the news media cycle. Thankfully, with the internet, word is getting out a little bit more maybe than it used to, but it's still obviously hasn't been a critical mass, and it's still a lot easier for candidates to work in the two main parties because in years and decades past, I think both Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump, would have ran as independents. I mean, I guess one good thing I can say about the internet is it has allowed outsider candidates to maybe come into the main parties a little bit and run as part of the main parties, but they're still running inside the main parties because if they run as independents, they're still not going to get really any traction. So, it's like a mild form of brainwashing what America's under. Like we have to vote for Republican or Democrat. There are other choices, guys. There are other choices, and the more I think word would get out on that, and I think that maybe we have a chance of breaking the cycle of just Republicans and Democrats all the time. I'd really like to see more independents get into office. Especially on a local. It has happened, and especially like on a national level, that would be great. Regardless of your religious stripes, I'm sure most people would agree that the stranglehold the two main parties have on American politics is not good, and also the fact that money influences our politics, completely. Big money is a huge detriment to the American people as well, for a number of reasons. So basically, the whole point of this video is break out of the cycle, guys. If your candidate now, if you really truly support, come November, if you really want to truly support either Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, if you want to support either one of those candidates come November, absolutely vote for them. But, if you don't like either one of those candidates, if you can't in good conscience support either one of them with your vote, do not vote for whichever one you consider to be the lesser of the two evils. Vote for a third party or write in somebody. Do something. We need to send a message that we just have to send a message to change things, to get real change in this country. As always, if you guys did enjoy this, please thumbs up, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.